Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. With me, we're here, with me, Johnny Nelson. We're here in Croydon at Box Park, just seeing Buatsi Aziz final kind of face-off. Strange for it to happen, kind of another one 3 weeks before the fight?
Strange, because I think this is probably one of the most crucial weeks in any fight camp, 3 weeks out. Reason being was because this is the hardest week when you're doing your most amount of rounds. It's when you're peaking in training. Reason two is this is the week where most injuries take place, either this week or next week for cuts. And I'm saying that because fighters are tired. Fighters are getting to the peak of training really hard. So anybody, if you understand it, fighters will get it, coaches will get it, trainers will get it, fans won't get it. So this is a hard week. So for fighters to actually do this at this point to a fight, that's the last thing they want to do. And it kind of, Brendan would never let me do something like this, or any of his fighters do something like this at this point in the fight. Yes, it gets to the point where fight week you've got to do all the promotion for the fight, and I get it. But that's the easiest week when you're tapering down. It's more of a mental thing than a physical thing. But for this to happen now, for the fight it's not great. For the community of Croydon it's brilliant. You've got to look at Croydon as a community, and you look at places like Brixton and places like that where they're trying to gentrify it and push people out of there. And so now in Croydon you've got a condensed amount of people that now it's a sensitive community. And so obviously, God forbid what happened last week here in Croydon, it really shook the community because it probably heightened one or two things where you need people that inspire the youngsters to think, I look like him or her, I want to be like him or her. So when you hear of such bad things that are happening, it's just hard. And so doing something like this, I look out there, I see families. It's a school night. I see mum and dad's kids on the school night. You know, so that it's just trying to prove to people, look, Croydon's not a bad place. It's a good place as a community. So for the community, this is the great thing. I saw Joshua Buatsi getting there with a load of kids out of the local boxing club, liked it. I loved it. Everybody had the t-shirts on to say, look, we're trying to support the right attitude. Boxing is that sport, that it's a people's sport. We like cockroaches, man. You can't get rid of boxing. You try and ban it, try and do everything. Boxing lasts forever and a day, but it's a people's sport. The only thing that probably kills it is when the people want to watch the sport of boxing and they can't afford to buy the tickets. And so, when it gets to grassroots, you know, what I've seen here today is a nice turnout. It's a nice fight.
We will break this down in more detail in a couple of weeks' time, Johnny, but I know you're a bit rushed for time today. Just going to get your reaction. I didn't catch up with you last week. Kind of Tony Belliw's comments about kind of Joe Joyce, that he's at British level, and Fabio Wardy will probably beat him at this particular time. As fighters, you had this in your career where you started off with losses. You know, 1 minute you're a hero, next minute they throw you down, you know, under the bus.
If I'm honest with you, I'm probably surprised at the brutal deliverance from Tony Bellew, because he knows how fickle the fans can be. I understand it's called tough love. I understand what he was saying. If you break down what he was saying, and what he was saying was, if Joy Joyce is chinny all of a sudden, then he's got a problem, because he gets hit far too often, far too regular. So if his biggest asset has gone, then I agree with what he's saying, but I think it was the deliverance of it that probably shocked people. But you've got to break it down, and you can't really say he's chinny until he comes up against somebody else that's not Zhang, because Zhang might have been that bogeyman, that southpaw, big, strong southpaw that always had his number. Anybody gets hit in the chin, they're going. Anybody, no matter how tough you are. And Joe Joyce met his bogeyman. So if it happens with various opponents, then you can have the argument. But I understand where Tony's coming from, but most people won't. I just thought the delivery was a bit brutal, but I understand what he was saying.
I spoke to KD from 258 Management. He said to me that Anthony Joshua was ticking along in the gym with Ben Davison. I'm sure you saw those comments went viral on social media. Are you surprised he's ticking along with someone like Ben?
We don't know the depths of the relationship. We don't know how long he's been working with Ben. We don't know where he is in regards to, you know, preparing for a fight. So if he's ticking along, as in going into the gym every day just to hit the bags, no big deal. And this is the problem. This is the crime in boxing, because there's not enough good trainers around where you can tick along with a good trainer. And whereas most fighters now, they'll train for a fight, then after the fight they'll bugger off, disappear. They may hit the bag once or twice a week. Boxing's got to be your lifestyle. Virgil Hunter is one of the few trainers that demands that from his fighters. And if he hasn't got that, the commitment you show him, he'll show you. You know, if you don't turn up, then I will turn up. You know, I'll be committed to you if you're committed to me. Virgil Hunter's one of the few fighters alive that actually lives by that sword and will die by that sword. So AJ ticking along with Ben Davison, it don't mean nothing. It means he's probably not with the coach he's working with, because he hasn't got a fight coming up. He wants to go in the gym, hit the bag, do a little bit. So he's got a do for now. Ben Davison might be a do for now until it gets to the important stuff.
I clarify my comments. When I say surprise, I mean Ben Davis's relationship with Tyson Fury and being Tyson Fury's ex-trainer from that perspective.
Hired gun, we've seen it many times before. We saw Emmanuel Stewart do it. We saw many fighters, trainers, train with various fighters, and I always struggle with that kind of stuff because it's about trust and relationship. But as I said, Ben Davison might have been will do for now. You know, and AJ might be going to the gym, just sitting in the bag, moving around. Can I use your gym? He ain't going to learn much from that. He's just going to know that he's in his gym and he's working out. So the threat, not much of a threat. I don't read too much into it.
Fury Usyk finally signed. We're going to see an undisputed championship fight. You are a cruiserweight. Usyk's proven that he belongs at this level by beating Anthony Joshua twice, by beating Daniel Dubois. What can he do? What does he have to do?
Let me ask you this. Have we heard this from Usyk's camp?
Yes.
You've heard it from Usyk's camp. It's done. His deal's been signed.
Alex Krasiev.
So we don't have no date, we have no venue, but the deal's been signed, and that's the next fight.
The venue's going to be Saudi Arabia. They're going to announce it. 1 minute. They're going to announce the date after the Ngannou fight in 3 weeks' time.
So when they announce the date and the venue, then have the conversation with him. But I ain't getting sucked into that bullshit anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not, because today Tyson Fury might. This is going to happen. Tomorrow it might change. So until it's signed, sealed, I ain't getting sucked in. I'm not having it.
But it is signed and sealed.
All right. Well, talk to me about it when the date's been given. Talk to me about it when the venue's been called.
Do you still have doubts?
Yes, I do. I still have doubts. I don't care. I still have doubts. And people can jeer and shout out there. I don't care. I still have doubts. Until it's signed, sealed, you have a date, you have a venue, then that's easy. I can take signed and sealed. They might not fight until next year, December. That don't mean jack diddly. So give me a date, give me a venue, then I'll have the conversation. But until then, I'm not buying it.
Johnny Nelson, enjoy the jerk chicken wings, and we'll catch up with you soon, mate.
Thank you, my friend.